And so the drought is kind of over for a little while. Not for very long. It won't take long before it'll be bad again because we were so dry. But we picked up about 4 inches, probably about 4.5 inches of rain. The problem is my rain gauge only goes to just over 4 inches, maybe 4 1/10, 4 2/10, and it was overflowed this morning. So not for sure how much we got, but we collected a bunch of water in a bunch of places. Didn't really want to collect it right there by my driveway, but the two things here where it runs off the roof and into these guys is both full. The barrel here, half barrel, that gets collected from this gutter here on the garage under the tower is all filled up and completely overflowed. Of course, that gutter I got out there and cleaned out the other day because it was completely full. It's been a long time since I had cleaned it. So, rinse my hand off there. So that's good. These right here are just for dogs, cats, chickens, etc., etc. That's what those are for. And so they're good now for a few days, thankfully. They were just about, in fact, they were almost completely empty yesterday. I had dumped the muck out of the bottom of them. This tank back here, I cheated and looked at a second ago before I turned the camera on, and it is not quite full. It is about right in here somewhere. So not quite full. It was lower than that, but I suspect that the gutter up there was a little clogged up on the screen. We're gonna go look at the big tank back behind the shop. My guess is it overflowed. Here a while back I did a little redo of the collection system up there where it would not lose its water. And even after that first little bit of rain we had yesterday, it made a huge difference. And so with what we got overnight, my guess is that it is going to be completely good and full right now, which would make me a happy boy, even though I'll probably have to drain a lot of it off come winter time. Girls, what are y'all doing back here? And boys, hey, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh yeah, yep, this one's full. So I suspected it would be. Yep, oh yeah, it looks like it's full all the way up into the hatch up there, so that's a beautiful thing. There's 3,000 gallons. That'll be good to have. 28 or 3,000, I'm not exactly sure how much. The top number only goes to 26, but then where the divisions show, it'll add another 3 or 4. So that's a good thing. And then I'm going to show you something over here that I noticed earlier. Which we can call it water collection at its most simple. Here the other day, Happy Hair sent me over to a small town south of here, about a half hour, and I picked up some church pews. And of course it hadn't rained in, 10 months or longer. And as soon as we get the church pews back here, it decides to rain. But what I did was I put some tarps over them in the hopes of keeping them a little bit drier. Feel up under there. Yeah, not entirely dry, and no surprise because this isn't exactly a great tarp. This, however, is a great tarp and collected a whole bunch of water. This is a really pretty good tarp here. And if you're in a position where you got to collect some water, this is a heck of a good way to do it. Obviously, I got to get rid of this here because, yeah, it is that deep. I mean, there's probably, what, 10 gallons of water right there. Good drinking water. I wouldn't be a bit afraid to drink it. Maybe I will. Yep, that's good drinking water. With the dirt, if I didn't stir the dirt up too much, which I might have now, it tastes like, oh well. But still, see, even in the middle here, there's more, which I'm going to lift and feel. And it's not entirely dry down there, but it's not entirely wet either. Not wet like that. So anyway, if you got to collect some water, that's one way to do it for sure. Set up a tarp, get it where it'll hang, preferably run it into a barrel or a bucket or pans or a tub or something. Even a couple of coolers ice chest will hold a bunch of water. So that's our little lesson for today, I guess. Now I'm gonna go see if I can, oh look at that, I forgot to turn my light off. That's a good use of electricity, isn't it? Okay, that's better. All right, there we go. We're gonna go up on the roof up there and check that gutter and that stream I've got up there, because I'll bet it is a little bit clogged. I got cavalier about keeping these gutters cleared out, and so I'm pretty sure what happened is it clogged up too much right here. And I actually looked at this yesterday and it wasn't quite this bad. But there's a piece of screen wire right in there, as well as the piece of screen wire around the outside, meant to catch and stop leaves and stuff like that. And I had kind of waited until it was sort of already raining, but I figured, oh, it'll be okay. And it wasn't as okay as it could have been. Got a lot of water. I collected a bunch of water in there, but not as much as I should have, because this was just a little bit too clogged up with dirt and silt and leaves and that kind of thing. So get that cleaned out right quick, and then maybe it'll be all better. There, get that out. Yep, look at there. Pretty clogged up. Pretty clogged up. Clear most of that out. Just like that. That'll make a huge difference right there. Get that back in there. And this guy back in there too. There we go. It's not wonderful. But since it hadn't rained in so long, I just hadn't. They told us it was going to rain, and probably a pretty good chance of it, but they've told us that before. And it didn't, and so I didn't take them as serious as I should have. All right, so if we get a little bit more today, you can see it is still completely overcast and cloudy, and there's fairly good chances of rain the rest of the day, but we shall see.